Good evening and welcome to our annual Employee Recognition Banquet. I use the word annually lightly because the last 2 years we've been not able to gather in the same way, but we are so excited to have everyone here tonight. And we're especially excited to be able to showcase our new and improved Penn Manor High School, and we sincerely hope you all had a great evening tonight. And we get to now focus a little bit on one of the most memorable and favorite parts of the evening, and that is hearing from our retirees. This year, I have, in addition to being superintendent and doing the welcome, I have the honor of also speaking a little later about some of my favorite experiences. We do want to recognize this is a large group of retirees that really has played a significant role in Penn Manor in the lives of countless children. We asked Cindy Rhodes to do the tally, and this year's retirees collectively represents 617 years of experience, which is just remarkable when you think about the life of a child and how much a teacher impacts those students. In addition to our teachers, we're also recognizing staff members who've also played an integral part in the life of Penn Manor School District, whether it's working as a paraprofessional in the classroom, preparing meals for students, or working in our maintenance and custodial department and making sure that we have a facility that is clean and ready for our students. Every retiree has played a significant role in the life of Penn Manor School District. So our two questions for this year. The first one was, what was one or more of your favorite moments or experiences in your time at Penn Manor and what made it so good? The other question is, what will you be doing on the first day of school in August 2022? Let's hear what they have to say.
Hi everyone, I'm Bob Chambers. I've been working for the Penn Manor School District for the past 31 years. My favorite moments and experiences were working with the custodians, administration, faculty, students, and food service at all 10 schools. What made it so good working at Penn Manor were working for the supervisors that I had. And they were Ed Nett, Denny Coleman, Chip Mathias, Tom Fluke, and also the Buildings and Grounds secretaries, Maria and Patty Glasser. Since my retirement in October of 2021, I've been golfing, hunting, going to the mountains and to the shore, and doing my honeydew list. I would like to thank Penn Manor for the past 31 years of enjoyment and memories. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Chris Bachman. I've been with Penn Manor for 24 years, here at Peckway for 21. I work at Peckway. Right now I'm in the AST department, helping kids with reading. My fond memories. I have a lot of small moments that stick in my mind, especially with the little itty bitties, we call them, little kindergartners and first graders. We help them with reading and sounds, and they get so excited, especially the kindergartners. Yesterday, one of them sounded out a word and they clapped in front of 5 other groups. It was like everybody looked at them and they were just so excited. I had to congratulate them. And also, like the 3rd grade kids, a lot of them want to stay in our group and then not go back to the class and just be my little assistant, which would be nice sometime. When I get out of school, I will be helping babysit my little 1-year-old. He'll be 1 by then. 1-year-old grandson, and I have a 4-year-old grandson. So hopefully getting him to school and helping my parents and just kind of sitting in that recliner, drinking coffee and reading magazines. So that's about it, really. Yeah.
My most memorable moment is Marticville Elementary. I was working 2nd shift, and the other custodian on the other side of the school came over and said, Chris, I've found a snake. and I asked her, repeat that? She said she found a snake. So I went over to try and find the snake, and I asked her if she was had drinking before her shift. She said no, but I did go over and we went through the room and I found the snake, and she didn't want the snake to get hurt, so I swept it into a box and we took it outside and released it. That was the end of it. Everybody got out safe that night. The only other time is Brian Reimer down at Martic Elementary put an empty beehive in my truck of my, the cab of my truck. I discovered it later, but nothing, yeah. Yeah. That's the only two I could think of. What will I be doing? Working for Brubaker Motors and enjoying my retirement. Going down to Ocean City, Maryland. Okay.
My name is Shelby Foster, and I've been with Penn Manor School District for 20 plus years in the technology department in many different roles. A technology analyst, technology trainer, technology coach, just all around tech whatever. I have a lot of fond memories at Penn Manor, and I've been fortunate enough to work in all 10 buildings. And what's powerful about that is the relationship I've established with the staff and students over the years in all 10 buildings. So just a little highlights from all the buildings. I'm going to try and catch them all. Central Manor was a great building to work in, and my biggest memory at Central Manor is when we were able to coordinate a live Skype session with our students in our library with a library in India. So it was pretty powerful to collaborate and to have those two classrooms collide over Skype, which the students embraced, and we started a whole international cultural unit with that as our launch, which was pretty powerful. Conestoga, I remember driving to Conestoga on the morning that we launched Letter Grade, which was our first online report card grading program, and I remember walking into Conestoga helping the teachers try to navigate moving from a paper grade book to an online grade book with Letter Grade. So that was a lot of relationships were established during that transition, which was fun. At Eshelman Elementary School, my fondest memory is as a mom. I put my now 40-year-old daughter on the school bus and I followed it over to Eshelman, and Peg Lyons came out the front door and embraced my daughter, and that was the class of 2000. So in 1987, the class of 2000 was delivered to Eshelman, and that was, seeing Peg Lyons embrace our students was pretty special. I was also a parent volunteer at Eshelman back in the late 80s, and I helped run that one internet cable through the building. As teachers wanted to check their email, they had to come out their door, look down the hall, and make sure another teacher wasn't on the computer so that they could check their email. So one internet cable in Eshelman Elementary School as a parent volunteer, I helped run that, which was pretty amazing back in the late 80s. So when we look at Leichliter, I think one of my favorite memories at Leichliter is walking in the back door at 7 o'clock in the morning, feeling a little tired and sluggish, and Della Kreider and Deb and the kitchen crew always were the best welcoming committee to start your day. And that's one of my biggest memories at Leichliter, was the friendships that were established in the building and just the happy people to work with. At Hambright, we had an awesome experience. Probably a highlight of my career was when we were at the old Hambright building up near Columbia Avenue, and the space shuttle was crossing over Hambright, and we were able to connect with a ham radio operator. We gathered all the students into the all-purpose room at Hambright, and we actually communicated through the ham radio operator to the space shuttle as it was flying overhead. And I know it was so exciting when the students heard the bleeping and heard them talking with us and going back and forth with the dialogue. That was pretty special. We had a narrow window of opportunity to pull that off. So as a tech, it was pretty crazy, but we were able to have a successful, long conversation with the space shuttle with the students at Handbrake. At Martic Elementary School, I think my fondest memories were trying to navigate the weather. The staff was great. We had a lot of great technology projects down there, but a lot of times it would be snowing like crazy, and we would call the district office and ask if we're getting out early, and they're like, the sun's shining up here. So Martic is like its own little town down there and its own little island, but a lot of good relationships were established at Martic. And when I think about Manor, and let me go to Pequay. Pequay Elementary School, I served there for several years. I had a kindergarten teacher who was incubating eggs in the classroom for hatching the chicks. So we decided to put slow motion video camera, time-lapse video camera in the incubator, put the microphone in there to try to capture it, and we actually captured all the chicks hatching out of the eggs, which was pretty exciting. And that led to a fourth grade teacher, Cindy Cargus, who then decided she wanted to do time-lapse video of the chrysalis and the butterflies emerging. So with that project, we were able to bring high school students down to Pequay Elementary School. The high school students did the video, they created the website, they did all the time-lapse video, which was a great collaboration between high school and elementary school back then. What was really special is the kids got to tag their butterflies, and we were able to watch them migrate to Mexico and see where their butterflies were. So as a project with tech involved and involving high school kids, that was pretty special, bringing the two groups together at Pequay. At Manor Middle, I've had a lot of tech experiences and a lot of great relationships established there. I think my biggest memory, which was a big tech challenge, was when the 8th grade science class decided to make videos on the physics unit. So when you take 8th graders who need to make videos on friction and motion and acceleration, and it was kind of pretty crazy turning 8th graders loose with video cameras, but what they did was they made their unit videos, and then they created websites to help to describe their videos, which was, it was pretty cool. It was pretty busy. At Marticville Middle School, my biggest memory there is we had Google expeditions come to Marticville Middle School in the middle of winter. There were ice storms and snowstorms. It was rescheduled like 3 times, but when we finally got them in-house, it was a phenomenal program. And that opened the door for Google to reach out to Penn Manor High School to see if we would participate in the Love Where You Live Google program. And that one here at the high school in the ag department was probably my favorite memory as far as technology and students. We worked with the English department, the art department, the agriculture department. We worked with families in our community who opened up their farms to allow us to come and capture why the students love where they live. And that whole video that Google used for their advertising for their software was entitled Love Where You Live. And I can say I honestly love where I live because my career was here at Penn Manor. The relationships that I've established over the years have been the best part of my career. So, on August 29th, while you're getting ready for school, I'm going to have a bass fish on the end of my hook by the time you get to school. By the time you're eating lunch, I'll have a golf club in my hand and hopefully be hitting around. And by the time you leave school, I'll most likely be delivering a meal to one of our cancer care families that one of the Penn Manor staff made to support our community.
My name is Mary Jacoby, and I'm the secretary at Leichliter Elementary School. I've been here 28 years. I started as a school playground and building aide, and ended up as secretary in 2002. A couple of my best memories from Leichliter are, probably the best one is our holiday assemblies. it was always so much fun having all the students and staff in the all-purpose room, and we would hear the band and the chorus, and we would sing holiday songs. And it was just a time that everyone was just happy, and it was really, I always enjoyed them. And I had one of the funniest memories is when Dr. Egan was a learning support teacher. We had a holiday party at a staff one, and he was young. He was like his first year. He signed up to bring paper plates, and he arrived at the party late. We were all waiting to eat. We couldn't eat without the paper plates. He arrived late, and he had forgotten them and stopped on the way in and got these like flowered Dixie plates or something. They were Christmas ones, and we've never left him live it down. So that's, I told him today that would be a fun memory that I would always remember. So, yeah. It'll seem funny not to come back in the fall, but I plan on going to the beach the week before school starts, which I have never done for ages. And I'm going to take time and just for me, and then eventually I want to do volunteering, look for some different volunteering jobs to help out different organizations.
My name is Cheryl Aucott. I've been at Penn Manor as a teacher for 25 years. Some of my favorite memories, or I guess the conglomeration of my favorite memories, are when you're working with a child and they finally get that concept. The one that they've been struggling with that nobody but you sees as a teacher they've been struggling with. And when the light bulb goes on, you just see their confidence buoyed. And I think out of all of the different memories I have, that's the most special ones. And I can say that from every class, from every year, that's what gets you up in the morning as a teacher, helping children learn, helping them gain confidence, and seeing in them what they can't quite see in themselves yet because they're so young. What I'm going to do in retirement, I don't have everything nailed down, but I'm going to be traveling more, volunteering more at my church, and enjoying bicycle riding on long distance trips with my husband and with my family. And I might even volunteer here at different times, yeah.
I'm Carrie Aukamp. This is my 28th year at Manor Middle School, teaching 7th grade. And when I started to try to think of a good memory, I was frustrated because I couldn't think of one or even two, and I think that's because there have been 5,000 days of little good things, just things that you wouldn't even think about. Just now, 20 minutes ago, I was walking down the hall and I passed one of my students and he said, "Hey," and I said, "Hey," and he said, "What?" I had my purse, and he said, "Wait, are you going home?" And I said, "No," and he said, "Oh, okay, good." And just little things like that are what make every day, and these kids, they're just, as frustrating as they are, they make life grand. They really do, and they're just fun. And I know I will miss the students the most. As much as I love the faculty and the administration here, I will miss the kids the most. But I'm lucky because at the end of school, I will be spending 3 months in Ireland and Scotland with my husband and my daughter and her husband, and the most important one, my 2-year-old granddaughter, and so we have that to look forward to. So I'll miss school, but I'll love being out too.
I'm going to say that my favorite things that happened during my years at Penn Manor were the German-American Partnership Program, Model UN, and Quiz Bowl. So back in 2004, we started the German-American Partnership Program, and that is where Germans come and stay with us in our households and go to Penn Manor and learn about our community and do a lot of cultural things. And then the same school year, the same students travel to Germany and stay in those same families and experience the same thing. So it's kind of a win-win, and that started back in 2004. Model UN is kind of near and dear to my heart. We have taken students to the local Model UNs, but also to college-run Model UNs, like at Boston College, MIT, Princeton, William & Mary, University of Pennsylvania, and then our favorite one has been the one in New York City, which is the National High School Model UN, which we've done for the past 10 years. So it's just a way for students to learn about global issues, diplomacy, how to do parliamentary procedure. It's really a leadership thing, and actually all of them are international, so the students have had that opportunity. And then lastly, Quiz Bowl. We have through the years had some really great Quiz Bowl teams, and so fun, and the students just are so impressive, and we've gone to nationals to places like New Orleans, Chicago, Atlanta. So not only have we gotten to represent Penn Manor at those places, but we have gotten to tour those cities. So for next school year, when it starts, I am actually going to be in Italy. So my goal is to move to Italy within the next year. And so what's happening is I'll be there from August 2nd till October 25th, which is almost 90 days. At this moment, I don't have a visa, but I will be staying and traveling and meeting some friends and doing some culinary courses and language courses for those 12 weeks. And then I'll come back in the fall and go to an Italian embassy here in the United States and try to get a retirement visa, which will enable me to stay longer than 90 days, as long as I want. So I'll be traveling back and forth to Florence, Italy, in my retirement. So it's been wonderful. I've loved my career, and I'm ready to take the next step. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Mary Kay Fair, and this is my 32nd year teaching in Penn Manor. I'm going to start a little bit further back than just my first teaching memory. I am a graduate of Penn Manor, so I started here in 3rd grade, and I started my student teaching with a Mrs. Chris Kenna in 5th grade at Martic, who just so happened to be my 3rd grade teacher when I was at Eshelman. We walked in the door the first day, looked at each other, and she said, "Mary Kay," and I said, "Miss Wolf." And I was her first class when she started teaching. So that was a wonderful way to start my student teaching. My first year teaching was at Peckway Elementary in 1990, 6th grade. And one of my best memories there is my principal at Peckway, Dr. Bill Wood, was my principal when I was in 3rd grade at Eshelman, and he was Mr. Bill Wood then. So as you can see, a lot of relationships, a lot of family connections. I was at Peckway for 14 years, till 2004, and the people at Peckway, we were family, and there are people today that we're still so close together, and they, just the memories there go on and on. Some of my favorites are with my 1st grade colleague, who was my buddy team teacher, Mrs. Snyder, Mary Snyder. She and I did all sorts of fabulous things with our 6th graders and 1st graders together. And some of the things that we used to get to do, like our ancient Egypt celebrations, we do an end of year fun fair together, and just, it was a marvelous time to teach elementary school. But I was very lucky after I got my K-12 reading specialist certificate to have an opening here at Manor Middle School. 2 teachers were retiring, and the principal was very welcoming, invited me up to do some observing of the 2 classes and the 2 teachers. And Mr. Leichliter then asked me, well, which grade do you think I'd like? And I said, well, if I'm going to change, let's do 8th grade, because 7th grade looked a lot like 6th grade. So, and that's how I started here at Manor Middle School. And of course, Dr. Leichliter became Dr. Leichliter, and we've been blessed to have a great working relationship ever since. Which brings me to my final best memory, and that's my work with PMEA. I started as a building rep, probably my 4th or 5th year teaching, after Jerry Hoyne retired, a legend in Penn Manor, and worked my way there after an invitation by Jim Ziegler and Amy Wall to be elementary vice president. I held the office of secretary, vice president at large, and then for the past 17 years it has been a joy and honor and a true gift to be president of PMEA. I feel that we have just the best education association in the county, and just cannot express in words the pride that I have with the work that I've done through there. So all in all, after 32 years, this is going to be hard to say goodbye. And on the first day of school next year, I'm probably, if I'm not in Maine, going to be at a spa. Maybe with my other English and reading teacher friends who are retiring. So thank you. Thank you for everything.
Hi everybody, Theresa Kreider here, former Director of Student Services. I was at Penn Manor for 7 or 8 years and took a hiatus, and then I've been back since 2010, so all but 20 years I worked for the district. And I don't have any one favorite memory. I think what has made the district so special for me is just all the people, from the support staff that I've worked with throughout the years to all of the teachers, and then finally to the administration. So that is what made the district special for me. I've already retired, so it has been nice coming back today to do this video. So that's been fun seeing everybody here in the district office. In terms of what I hope to be doing the first day of school is I want to be traveling either in Europe somewhere or in Utah. So my travel companions and I haven't made up our mind in terms of where we're going, but that's the plan, is to be traveling the first day of school. So I wish everyone well. Thank you, and have a great rest of your careers.
Lugar, Open Campus Director. I've been with Penn Manor almost 8 years. I really, in my job was a unique job where I got to sort of be on the cutting edge of program, and developing online courses was really my favorite part of my job, and working with teachers to develop online courses, because that's where I could be creative, and I'm a very creative person. And I love to figure out new ways to present material to students. I love to figure out new ways to assess students, problem-based assessment, authentic assessment. All of those things we could put into instruction in a new way. And that was the challenge of this job, and I love that challenge. So I will definitely miss doing that. So what will I be doing when school starts again in August? As a retiring person, it's hard to say. I think I'm going to kind of live it one day at a time. But it will be August. I probably will not get out of bed at 5:30 in the morning. But I will probably, I'm 95% sure I will be doing something outside in the sunshine. I'm an outdoorsy person. I have a garden. I have birds, I have butterflies. August is butterfly season, so I'll probably be checking my butterfly chrysalises and setting the new hatchlings free. What I'm looking forward to is being outside.
Hi, I'm Janet Ochs, and I've been teaching here at Conestoga for 24 years. A favorite memory would be that I had the privilege and the honor to teach 2 of my grandchildren math and social studies. Like any parent or grandparent would want to be a fly on the wall, I got to be the fly on the wall to see how my granddaughters act and behave, who they're friends with. So that was truly a memory, or 2 memories that I'll be taking with me. I also have a story that happened recently here in the classroom that speaks to the times, or the changing of times. And what it is I was teaching customary units of measure and weight in particular, and the kids were doing an activity where they had items on one side of the column and then approximate weights on the other. And so some of the items, and it was in word form, some of the items were like a car, a golf ball, a can of soup, and it was a textbook. So I said to the kids, everybody knows what a textbook is, right? And I was met with just blank stares. And so I was kind of thrown by that, but a brave soul raised his hand and I called on him and I said, okay, so tell everybody what a textbook is. And he said very confidently, well, it's a list of people in your phone that you text. And I was like a laugh out loud moment, or LOL, I guess I should say, moment, because it really speaks to the changing of times. But I was able to explain what a real textbook is, and because it would affect the weight, and so everybody did a really nice job with that. The other thing that I'm supposed to speak to is what will I be doing that first day in August when everybody else is at school. Well, this really is something my husband, or my retired husband, has been waiting for several years. And that is not to be awakened by the screech of my alarm at an ungodly hour. So I just want to say thank you to Conestoga and to Penn Manor for the many, many wonderful memories that I will take with me.
I'm Lisa Roth-Walter. I've been teaching, this is year 36, 34 of those were in Penn Manor. I loved at Penn Manor the times that we would do morale boosting activities for the kids. Sometimes we would act out stories on stage. I remember we did a mock American Idol. I loved being the screamo person. And we camped out on the Hambright roof one time. That was interesting in the rain, but it was a lot of fun. We might have been cracking eggs on each other's heads, or we even did a lip sync of We Are the World. All of those were great for the kids. But the awesome part about that was we ended up boosting our own morale. I also just loved laughing with my colleagues. I was so blessed throughout the years to always have colleagues at lunchtime that would just laugh hysterically with me. That was the best way to get rid of stress. The best moments, you know what they are, those little moments with kids where you connect with them or you see them grow as people. What am I gonna do on the first day of school next year? Hey, retired friends, do you have any ideas for me?
Absolutely, Lisa. We're going shopping.
Ooh, that's nice.
Come to the beach.
Yes, I think I might. Oh,
The beach is always great, but there's bigger travel plans available.
Travel during the year, anytime sounds good. You can do all those things because you're gonna have lots of time. But the first thing you're gonna do is come to the second annual first day of school brunch at my house. Cheers! Wow, lots of options. I have to say, I will always be Penn Manor proud and consider myself part of the Hambright family. but I'm ready to see what's out there on the other side after I ring that handbrake bell. Bye, Penn Manor.
I have two questions to answer, and what I will say when I begin my reflection is being superintendent is an incredible honor. And it's an honor because not only do I get to play a role in working with all of you to make Penn Manor a better place, I also get to see all of the good things that goes on in our schools with our teachers, with our staff members, and with our students. So kind of summing it up in one or two areas is really challenging for me. So I'm going to start off with the easy one. Probably my favorite time of the year and my favorite event of the year, and this is true from my first year as a high school assistant principal to now, is our opening faculty day. And it's my favorite time because, number one, everyone's refreshed. Everyone's coming back from a summer where we got to recharge our batteries. But number two, it's great to see people happy, smiling, happy to see each other, and just energized for the start of a school year. So for me, that is probably the most memorable time, but it's also, I think, in many ways, one of the most important days that we spend, because when you teach, when you work with children, we recognize that even though we have our own individual part of that experience, we really are made better by being collectively with each other, learning from each other, being part of a community that is focused on one singular but highly important mission, and that's helping our kids succeed. So that would be one element. And the other one I'll lump into the category of seeing people do great things individually. I love walking into a classroom, seeing a teacher interacting with students, seeing students smile, having conversations with them and learn about what they are interested in that class and how their teacher is helping them succeed. And again, I could give countless examples that I can think of, but those are the moments, kind of those light bulb moments with kids that will stick with me for a very long time. The other has been working as a principal, I would say. While I love my job as a superintendent, being a principal, whether it was a high school assistant principal or a principal at Manor Middle School, being able to work with, again, teachers and students, being able to problem solve and finding ways to make our school a better place really was, in my opinion, where the most important part of our jobs are as educators. So they're my two examples, and they are memorable, and those types of experiences will be with me for the rest of my life. So the second one's a little more complex, and that's what will I be doing the first day of school, August 2022. And what I will say is I won't be doing anything different this coming year than I was last year. When I announced my retirement, I had fully intended to continue working for a very long time, but that period between October and January, I really got to reflect on what I love doing. I love working in schools. I love being a superintendent, and I'm only 53, so I have a long time to work. For a very long time, Mary Edith and I, our goal was to find, at some point after I retire from Penn Manor, another opportunity to serve a community in a different way. And my goal for at least 5 years has been to find a school district that was smaller, that needed someone with experience, who didn't necessarily have someone an internal candidate like Penn Manor so much prides itself on doing, and help make a positive change. So the first day of school next year, I will be the superintendent of the Harwood Unified Union School District in Waitsfield, Vermont, and I will be working with another fabulous group of educators trying to make their schools better, just as all of you are doing on a daily basis for Penn Manor. And I look forward to that, and I look forward to staying in touch with everyone in Penn Manor and hearing about the great things that the school district continues to do.
Well, ladies, I've enjoyed the last several decades working with you guys. What are you going to miss?
Well, I'm going to miss the kids in the cooking labs. I've had some pretty funny stories happen over the years. One of the funniest ones was a student who was making a batch of cookies and the batter. It was time for him to add the egg into the batter, and he just literally was ready to drop the entire egg, shell and all, into the batter. And I caught him in time. I said, "Zach, what are you doing?" And he said, "I didn't think it looked right." And he was genuinely sincere about that. Then I have another story about a girl who was cutting a cucumber with a knife, and she says to me, "Mrs. Long, this cucumber is really old. It doesn't cut." I looked at her and she was using the dull side of the knife. That happens a lot in my class.
Those kids need those food skills.
Yes, they do.
They will miss you.
Yes, they do.
I'm going to miss my great friends that I've made at Marticville. We've always had such a great time together, inside and outside of school. I'm going to miss the kids who always keep you on your toes and have helped me fight off dementia, because you always have to be thinking. So I'm gonna just miss my friends and kids.
I'm also going to miss my friends, because I would not have made it without you. And I will miss the kids who come to school ready to work hard and are polite and just do what they are supposed to do.
I'm going to miss many, many kind and talented students that we've had through the years, hard workers, and of course, all my friends here and also in other buildings.
I'm also going to miss my friends, many of whom I've traveled with. Oh, all of you. The beach, Europe, the beach, Florida, many great places. I'm going to miss working with the best English teachers at Penn Manor over these last decades. Couldn't have done it without you ladies. And I've had some awesome green team members over the years. I've been so lucky. One leaves, another great one comes. I've been very fortunate. And I'm also going to miss those kids who come to school and say, "Miss Goodhart, I love to write." So I'll miss them as well. But I'll tell you what I'm sure not going to miss is spending my evenings and weekends grading those papers.
Ditto.
Correcting. I'm not going to miss writing IEPs. In my tenure at Marticville, I've estimated that I've written about 650 IEPs over 2,600 hours. So I'm really looking forward to having that time for myself now.
That's amazing, Lisa, that you even calculated all that.
Oh, yeah.
For me, I go back and forth between the two middle schools, and every semester I schlep things from one school to the other and back again in that same semester. So I will not miss moving all the equipment and paraphernalia that I use in my classroom back and forth between the two middle schools.
It's hard to travel. What are you looking forward to?
Oh, no, hands down, spending more time with my grands. I have 2 in Georgia, 2 here in Lancaster, so I'm looking forward to spending more time with them, some traveling, and some golfing on the links. Deb, by the way, I wanted to ask you, that last hole, was that a eagle or was that a birdie?
That was an eagle,
It
Heidi.
was an
Across
eagle.
Cape from the
Okay,
plane.
I will mark it right now.
First and last time for everything. But I'm
Good.
ready to golf
Way
with
go.
you.
All right.
I forgot the question.
What are you looking
We can
forward
cut
to,
that
Lisa?
out.
Traveling. Going out to Arizona to see my son, my granddaughter, my daughter-in-law. I'd like to go other places that I've just never had time to. Also, I'd love to travel in the fall. I'm looking forward to being
Traveling
able
in
to
the
do
fall.
that.
That would be
I am
amazing.
excited to travel whenever I want, not just summertime.
I am. Wait, what was the question?
Looking forward to.
Looking forward to. Oh
Look
my
at your
gosh.
shirt.
I know. Traveling for sure, family time, and going to some Yankees games with Deb.
No, I will go to New York with you, but I will be at Broadway while you are at the Yankees game.
And I'm looking forward to travel also, and lots more time with my family and time on the farm.
I'll help on the farm.
Me too.
Excellent.
Woo.
Sign me up.
Okay, excellent.
As long as it's not during that shearing. I can't stand that screaming.
Sharing is a big day.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
So any other time. I'm also looking forward to traveling. I'll go anywhere with any of you ladies anytime. And you know what else I'm looking forward to? Ladies? August 29th, 8 in the morning. How about breakfast?
Yes.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
on the beach at Ocean City, New Jersey.
Ooh,
even better. I think we need to plan that.
Lovely. Let's do it. All
sounds
right,
sounds
ladies.
great.
I'm free.
Well, thanks for the memories, Marticville.